Hello again, you beautiful people. It's Jero really back again with another gameplay video. This time around it's Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction expansion set. A classic, but definitely a good one. Well, that doesn't really make any sense because a classic is generally good. Anyway, this is Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction expansion set on PC. It's a very old game. Yes, I'll give you that, it's very old, but do not be put off by its crappy graphics and crappy animations and all that crappy stuff, because there's a lot of great stuff behind this game that makes it excellent. So sit back and relax while you enjoy this game by Blizzard Entertainment. Yes, the people that made World of Warcraft, which I will get a video up of sooner or later, I promise. I know that pretty much every suggestion has had World of Warcraft or Call of Duty 4 included in it, and I will get those finished ASAP. Also on the agenda, while I'm on the topic, I thought I might as well do a Warcraft 3 gameplay video, but I'll see about that anyway. I was going to do a co-op gameplay video of Diablo 2, however, I forgot to record yesterday when I was playing with my friend, and yes, I'm an idiot, but, I mean, whatever, we've got this gameplay video now, so, you know, like I said, sit back, relax, warm up that popcorn because this video is going nowhere. Enjoy! So here we have the beautiful Diablo 2 intro screen and menu. I'm just choosing my character now, a level 8 barbarian, which of course I have leveled myself. Here is the loading screen. Okay, so where I am right now is the rogue encampment, which is basically your town or your base in which you come back, sell goods, make money, repair items, buy other items. You know the gist of it, and it's also the main place for getting quests. That's my quest log. I currently have 2 active quests. I'm going to be doing the search for Cain. I just have a few items I have to sell, so I've made myself some money and now I'm sorting out my inventory. The red potions are health potions and the blue ones are, of course, mana potions. This is the map. It's a very different map compared to what you'd see on a lot of games, because it doesn't take up the entire screen and stop you from playing while you're looking at it. It's a see-through sort of... It's a weird perspective, but it's very helpful. Okay, so here's my first sort of fight on this video. I'm a barbarian, so I can dual wield one-handed weapons. I currently have 2 very good one-handed weapons, which are a mace and a sword. And here's a really good example of how many enemies you now have to fight at once in Diablo 2. It's really crazy. And if you've ever played World of Warcraft, you'll realize that if there was ever a quarter of that amount of enemies against you in World of Warcraft, you'd have no chance unless you were a mage. But yeah. But yeah, Diablo 2 is all about fighting a lot of guys at once, and sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming, especially for new players. Especially because when you start the game, you get your quest, you run out, and straight away there's quite a few enemies to fight at once. I mean, they are really weak enemies, like such as these red fallen here that die in one shot, but at the same time it might overwhelm the player. The pacing in Diablo 2 is not the best pacing. Even though you do get used to the game really quickly, it still would... I can't imagine someone that's never played this kind of game before to be able to enjoy the experience, because there's so much to do and there's so much to get used to, and the game really doesn't teach you how to do anything. As far as I can remember, there really is no kind of tips or tutorial or nothing like that. You just dive straight into the fray and you try and play the game. Like World of Warcraft, there are special types of enemies or mobs or creeps or whatever you want to call them. They have a different coloured name, which you can see the name of the current monster that you're highlighting at the top of the screen. It also has a health bar as well. Just like monsters and enemies, items also have rarities. I just found a really good rare axe. So what I'm going to do is, in my other weapon slot, I'm going to use the axe, and that way I can hit W in real time and switch between the two set of weapons, which is really useful, especially if I wanted to use a ranged weapon in the second slot and a melee in the first, which actually surprises me that World of Warcraft haven't done something similar to that, and I'm sure they will in the future. And if you're wondering why I keep referring back to World of Warcraft, because I'm sure some of you are, there's a few reasons. Well, one is because it's made by Blizzard, so I only have to refer back to its other products to see the similarities and differences. And also because the game is so much like World of Warcraft, it's unbelievable. I mean, the concept is precisely the same, except for the fact that you fight more than 2 enemies at once without dying. Now, to explain the names of items and their colour corresponding, a magic item is blue, a rare item appears in yellow, a set item appears in green, and a unique item appears in gold. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the underground passage and I'm having a fight inside with a few skeletons, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why I was taking frost damage and being slowed down, which evidently is what's stopping me from killing them all. But it wasn't until a few minutes later that I actually realised I was fighting a unique enemy called Gutfroth. Yes, he is called Gutfroth. I am going to find a woman with the second name Froth, marry her, take that as the family name, and name my child Gut, because that name is awesome. So what these unique enemies can do are generally, they have different immunities. They might have immunity to fire, complete immunity this is, to fire, frost, lightning. Never all at once as far as I know, but they do have them in different combinations. Also, they have special abilities and attacks, whether it's, as you can see, frost on the end of their arrows to slow you down, or they just have a lightning attack that spurts lightning everywhere and utterly annihilates you. And a lot of the times you aren't expecting these guys, and to be honest, they could make them more visible. As you can see, there is a skeleton with a very light orange tint to his armor, and then I found him, Gutfroth, Undead Cold Enchanted, as you can see at the top. I didn't see him at all because it's dark in this cave. The other skeletons are reddish, and he was just a lighter red or an orange. I could barely see him. They don't use custom models for the rare enemies. They only use custom models for like bosses and stuff. So I think instead of just darkening them a shade or whatever, they could have at least put in some different model, because it is hard to see sometimes and you don't even realize you're fighting, and then you die and you lose half your gold or whatever it is it takes off you, and it can be really annoying sometimes. Just an FYI, I've already explored this area, so the map is already fully explored for pretty much the whole cave. But if you enter an area and you've not been there before, you will have literally nothing on your map that tells you how to get around. It's only because I've been here before that I know sort of where to go, and I can see the exits and entrances and the shrine locations, all that good stuff on the map already. I'm not sure whether that's the first time you've seen a scroll of identify in this video, but I'll explain what they are now. Basically, when you pick up an item that is of magic quality or higher, it comes unidentified, which basically means you can't equip it and you can't see what stats it has, apart from its defense, durability, and anything you require, like whether you require 25 strength to equip it. So basically you use a scroll of identify to identify the item stats and any sort of perks it gives you, and then it lets you equip it.